you can't be unrealistic in your goals, and if you want to get somewhere, you got to put it realistically far enough away and then realize, how do I get there? It's not going to just go like this. And I remember telling you, I think it was like, if you want to climb the ladder, if you go all the way to the, there's 10 rungs on the ladder and you go all the way to 10 first, you're going to fall all the way back down again if it doesn't happen. So you just got to lay, you're laying foundations as you go. Every great band has been that way. Just a side note, the scary thing is labels nowadays, like, I would think that U2 would be dropped right now if they came out. Or REM, because the first record didn't sell 500,000 or whatever, So if you really think, that's what's scary to me. Because, like, bands like, I'm going totally on a side note, sorry, but, like, bands that don't get 3 records anymore. And sometimes bands break on their 3rd, 4th record, and that's what builds their career. So that's what's scary. And so that's what's made it a lot harder for my job now, is to kind of figure out a way to develop a band, but also kind of like, you got to have a hit, but be grounded also. Anyway, I went on a side note. But going back to it, like the Bravery example was great because, so Anthony, the drummer, gave me the CD. I listen to it. I freak out. I call him up, and I'm like, I gotta see what you're doing. So I go down to New York the following week. They're rehearsing down in the basement in this basement on Ludlow Street, and I walk in, and they like blew my mind. I was like, holy crap! Never played a show before. They're just rehearsing. So we went and sat down that night at a bar and put a 6-month game plan together. This is October of 2003, and I said, and then what it was, okay, man, your recordings are here, your songs are here, the way you guys look is here. You've never played a show, so all of this is cool. We got to get this up to here. So for the next 6 months, we got to play as much as we can. But being in New York, you can't play Mercury Lounge, places where labels will see you, anybody will see you, because you got to get your chops back up. So we got to go up to Boston, or we got to play these little dive places in Brooklyn. We got to play as much as we can, but not play the hipster cool places, because all it's going to take is one assistant for an A&R guy to see the band and the way you guys look, and they're going to hear great songs and see you play. They want to hear a demo, and your recordings are great, and you just shot your load too early. So we have to be realistic about getting this up to here, because until this is here, we can't really do anything. We can't let it out to everybody. So, and then in May, I want to do a residency, and I want to do every Thursday night at a small club in New York, and that's our goal, is to sell out every Thursday night, and I want to do Thursday night because that's the night the Bridge and Tunnel comes in Friday and Saturday. You want to play New York Thursday night. Everybody goes out on Thursday night. I want to play at 10 o'clock because that's a reasonable time for industry still to see you, but regular people to see you. It's that's when we'll let the Bravery out in New York. But in the meantime, we're going to keep it quiet and just have your friends come, and just start developing the band. I swear to God, I think the band was the first band on MySpace, because they were MySpace had just kind of started, and the keyboard player was going on MySpace and put the Bravery up as a person. Didn't have music at that point. Didn't have bands sections, and so he did it just to get models to come to the show. He would write this funny little things to these models, oh, that was cute. Oh, I just checked out your MP3 on your site. I'm gonna come to your show. Oh, you guys are hot. Next thing you know, we got these hot girls at our show. Everybody starts coming to the shows. It starts kind of becoming this crazy frenzy. Then we start getting offered to open for bigger bands, and things are happening. So by May, we got this residency at Arlene's Grocery in New York. Every one of them sold out. It became, every label wanted the band because they had great recordings already. All the cliche label things, that what labels want in a band. Were there. To get signed, it's just it's so funny. It's like a checklist. It's do they have the hit song? Is the lead singer a rock star? They have all it's almost they go through all the check. Are they good live? They just go through all the checklist things. And then it's the last one is, do I have to sign him right now? Right. Yeah. Do I really have to sign him?
Is someone else there?
Yeah. Well, or is it going to get away from me? Yeah. Or can I just sit on it? And so that's really the most challenging thing, is creating such a buzz that they have to pull the trigger. because they'll just sit on it and wait. I don't have to pull it. Like whether, and sometimes it's not if other labels want it. It's like you got added to a radio station or something's happening. And with the Bravery, it was like, you know, a guy at the BBC, Zane Lowe, started playing the record. A guy in Boston at WFNX started playing the record, and then the guy in San Francisco started playing the record before we were signed. And that just made everybody freak because we just did their job for them. You know, we just did half the label's job for them at that right off the bat. So anyway, but all that just came from this New York, like, just playing these like underground shows and like really cool things, and then kind of the underground New York caught on to the band and started like having them play their parties, and all of this was kind of part of the plan, all leading to this residency in New York. Then after that happened, after we got signed, we put the plan together to do exactly the same thing in London. So we went and lived in London in November of '04. We got a house in London. The band lived there. They went out every night, you know, and just totally like went to parties and then played every Thursday at 10 o'clock at the Metro in London. And it broke the band wide open and just kept on working because the band's a really good live band. And residencies to me work for great live bands because people go the next day and are at, you know, the water cooler or whatever and be like, dude, I saw this band last night. They're playing next Thursday. You got to see them. You know, it's like one of those things that like, and it's a small enough club to make it like tough to get into, and there's a whole strategy behind it. But that was the baby step thing the Bravery did. And it went really quickly, quicker than I've ever seen any other band happen. But we didn't, you know, and through all the whole process, people thought it happened really fast. But still, like, we did the right things. We built it. And then the press jumped on it and everything. And then there was this huge backlash on the press. But the band still could be stable because, you know, the big backlash on the press in the UK, so what, the band fell down like a step. Now they have a new record coming out, and it's really awesome. It's going to go back up again. It didn't fall all the way back down because we had like just sat there and like, so that was kind of the whole thing. But that's been every band I've managed. The same thing with, you know, Damone, who still hasn't broken. They've had 2 major record label records out, and it's like they're still just like, you know, building it really slow.